Hi and welcome to this Blueberry Markets video update with me, John Kibler, head currency analyst. In this video I'm going to go through the Forex market outlook. Going to look at a few different opportunities and mainly going to really focus on the dollar weakness that we've seen in the markets lately, and there's a couple of opportunities surrounding that. But one of the strongest currencies of last week was the Swiss franc, and I'm just going to kind of highlight through all these lines here the Swiss franc, which is this purple line here, and we can see that the market has been coming from those really low levels and is just moving really nicely higher. And last week we talked about the potential for dollar Swiss to move to the downside, and that worked out really well with that Swiss strength. We are at the sort of +5 levels now, which is suggesting that the Swiss franc is strong and that we could see a likely continuation of that or a reversal. I'm swaying more towards the option of further upside for the Swiss franc, especially against the kind of weaker currencies. The weakest one of last week was the yen, which is this white line just through here. Yen has dropped back to -5 on the strength meter, which is suggesting that it is still a little bit fragile as well. But let's go talk about the dollar, because the dollar was very much the weaker currency of last week. It really didn't do particularly well against the majority of pairs, and I just wanted to talk about some technical opportunities that we could be seeing on those markets. Now, just starting off with euro US dollar, what we can see here is that the market remains in an uptrend. We've had some pretty shallow pullbacks apart from this one, which was suggesting that we were going to see that sort of dollar strength enter the market, but it just didn't happen in the end. Instead, price came back down towards this key area at 1.2, nice psychological level, rallied back to the upside, and is currently breaking through these highs here. Now, if I'm looking at where the sort of institutional selling of the market is, there's a couple of different places which we could point out, and we could argue sort of where those came in. Now, the first one is going to be this sort of recent area just through here, where price is at now, around about the 121.60s, because in the past we saw lots of aggressive selling coming from this area. So you could argue that the same thing could happen again. Price could come up, maybe hit the highs here at 122.42 and then see a reversal at that point. However, the origin of the move in particular was up the way back up here, which is 122.95, or if we want to round that up to a psychological level, 123. And that could be an area where we could start to see that dollar strength re-enter in the market. We may still see a little bit of downside, a little bit of a continuation up into this level before we see the reversal in the market. So we may want to still look for short-term long opportunities on euro US dollar towards this 123 level. Okay, so moving on to dollar Swiss. Dollar Swiss, again, another market which we pointed out last week for a bit of downside. I'm expecting further downside again. However, do I want to be a seller where price is at now? Not particularly, because we're in the midst of that sort of impulse move. I want to be a seller of this market after the price has retraced. So where is that market kind of retracement resistance area that I really want to trade from? Well, it's at 0.9105. Reason being is because what I did was I looked at the volume levels within this area, and I saw the high volume levels within this point at 0.9105. So what I'm looking for, what I'm expecting, is price to pull back to this level and then see a continuation down, with the demand zone just sitting slightly lower at 0.8955. So that's what I'm looking for there on dollar Swiss. So we may not get that opportunity this week, obviously. Price may just kind of sit around there before moving back, but that's the level where I'd want to be short from. Aussie US dollar then. So again, we didn't really focus on Aussie US dollar last week because of the fact that price was still kind of stuck within this range. Now price has broken out of it and we're getting that nice higher high here. I've got to look for areas where I expect price to come into. Now again, lots of aggressive selling came in up here. The origin of that area was around about 0.7912 all the way up into 7965s. So what I'm expecting is price to rally towards this level here. here. Now what I've pointed out here is just a nice high volume level within a sort of consolidation on the 4-hour time frame, and 0.7765 or 0.77765 I should say, is a nice high volume level on the short term side of things on the 4-hour time frame. So if price was to kind of have a couple of days of just pullback, we could expect some bullishness from that area. Otherwise, we're going to see the market continuing up to 7912 and then potentially find some sellers in the market at that point. Moving on to last then, so gold is quite an interesting chart for me. On the seasonal side of things, we should be looking to short gold. May is usually a bad performing month for the precious metal. However, the dollar's been underperforming, not in line with the seasonals at the moment. So we should be seeing the potential for this market to continue to the upside. Now, a couple of different things that I've looked at. So on the weekly levels, the one that's been pointed out to me is around about 1850. This is a really nice area where the market has been bought up or had a lot of trading action recently, including these couple of sell positions from here. So what I'm almost expecting is, you know, we have this higher low pattern on the short term side of things over between sort of the start of April and the end of April, start of May. So what I'm kind of looking for is the potential for the market to maybe come in. We look for maybe a double top pattern here, price to drive back towards the high volume level at 1781.50 for the potential for the market to bounce off of that area. That's what I'm kind of expecting here from gold. Alternatively, price will break to the upside, and you know, depending on how weak that dollar remains. But I'm looking for either buying opportunities at 1781 or reversal opportunities at 1850 on gold. Thanks for watching this video update, and I'll catch you soon.